What's happening, guys? James Blonde here with MMOHuts.com, checking out the Japanese anime action-focused MMORPG called Onigiri, which actually means rice ball, according to Google and Wikipedia, and I'm kind of starting to see why they might call it that. Anyway, the game is developed and published by Cyberstep, and it's been in and out of various alphas and betas for over a year now, the English version anyway. And as of recently, the game has finally launched, with recent announcements about the game headed over to the PS4. So that kind of gives you a brief idea of how the playstyle might be. Now, this game combines the 3D anime-style MMORPG experience, slaps on an action combat system kind of similar to Phantasy Star Online, and it focuses heavily on a companion system. So pretty much everyone you meet in the game in terms of NPC becomes your friend, and in turn they'll help you fight, if, you know, you keep them happy. So now that the game is launched, I'll hop in and I'll give you guys a quick tour of the game. Starting out with the character customization. So we start out with a preset average body female, as they like to say. We've got a couple of options here in terms of overall physique. You can sort of get a better idea if we toggle off. There we go, that's much better. And so this is the average body female. You've got a couple of options here. This is a typical look. You've got slender female, which overall makes her taller. There's your slender male. These guys kind of look pretty normal. The funny one, though, is this is the average body male, which I guess is normal. And then you have the muscular male, which is ridiculous. It looks like he just works out arms and skips leg day. His forearms are as big as his quads. Really out of proportion here. The model on this, too many steroids. Ridiculous. And it's funny because you can kind of compare this here, make a comparison. The Glamourous Female, let's take a look at the average body female first, actually. And basically what they add to the Glamourous Female is, of course, the boobs and ass. And there is no problem with the proportions here. Sadly, though, there is no boob slider, or any sliders for that matter. In fact, for an anime game, it's kind of lacking in the boob department, at least early on anyway. So you've got to go with what it gives you. So I'm definitely going to go with the bootylicious female. Why not? You've got a couple of options here for the face, most of which changes the makeup. You've got a couple here that kind of make her look like tired almost, but all of them give her that typical anime look, no matter which ones you choose here. Oh, that's cool. Gives her a cat iris. That's nice. Another tired looking one, and oh, that's cool. I like that with the yellow mascara. Nice. Change your eye color to a lighter color there. Blue looks good. Go with the hair. Now, the hair in the game is actually very interesting. So, despite the textures in the game not being the greatest, the hair is actually cool. It kind of looks like it's feathered, or they're made of feathers versus hair. And they still have the movement going on. So, for some reason, I really like the look of that, even though some of them can look really pieced. I don't know what it is about this, but it looks pretty cool. Ooh, I definitely like that. The sideways sort of bangs covering the eye. Nice. So even though the texture's not real good in the game, too yellow, the hair actually looks pretty cool. And you can still make a cool looking character. Oh, that's definitely not flattering. The clothing set here, let's see. We've got a couple of options. Oh, that's nice. I like that. That's even cooler. Kind of a flame. We have a giant hole here. I wonder what that's for. Huh. Anyway, let's see here. Oh, you can actually change the clothing in parts, so we don't have to go with this whole thing. Let's see. I do like the horns that she has, the evil-looking horns, but I think you can change the color. Let's see. Let's go with the purple. Yeah, we'll go with the purple theme. Kind of works well with what we're going for. And let's see what we got here. I think this one looks cool. Yeah, right there. The red, the less clothing, the better. Just kidding. And the purple looks good. We're gonna go with that. And I'm not really digging the shoes, so let's... Oh, definitely not. That's purple, but I don't like it. Normal flip-flops work. Purple flip-flops. Perfect. Nice. So now we can go ahead and... oh yeah, we gotta select the voice here. And I think that the first one's okay. It's kinda... It's alright. It's better than this one. Let's see. This one might be good too. Yeah, that sounds about right. Let's go with that. That'll work. So in this game, you've got lots of choices when it comes to the playstyle that you might be looking for, which is probably the biggest strong point in the game. They're set up in what they call status types, so there are 5 to choose from, and each determines what variety of weapons your character can specialize in. You've got power, focusing on swords and other close-range melee weapons. The defensive is obviously your tank, specializing in the spear and staff. You've got the cautious, which obviously, as the name implies, is more of a ranged type of class. And then, of course, you've got your healing support mage type class, and then the daring, which is my favorite, specializes in the swords, pretty much every weapon here. The master of burst damage to end combat quickly. I like the way that sounds, and the stats here are almost the same as power, kind of, except for the the dexterity. It's gonna be better with the bow. So we'll go ahead and start the game here. I'm gonna name my character, like always, James Blonde, and yeah, we'll start it up. I might skip the tutorial here just to speed things up. So yeah, I skipped the tutorial just because it was really basic, teaching you movement and some of the system mechanics, but this is actually where you end up afterwards, after completing the tutorial dungeon as well. Plus, I also did the first dungeon and turned in a couple of starter quests. You've got a couple of NPCs here to get quests from, as well as identify and repair your items. Now, one cool thing about this game is the way the dialogue shows up here. It's actually kind of cool. A little bit more entertaining than just the text appearing. There is, however, a lot to read in this game, and I'm sure the story is really good, but if you're in a hurry, you have this button right here to skip and go through all of that, pick up your quest, or your reward in this case, and go through it, which is a nice feature. I'm glad that it has a skip, and you're not having to spacebar through it, or whatever it may be. So this is the starting area, like I mentioned. It's really big, actually. There's some shops that players have set up there. And it is a little tedious to get from one place to the other. There's no mounts or anything in the game, so you do have to do a lot of walking. And so once you've completed a dungeon, it may take you a little while to get back to the quest giver to complete the mission and receive your rewards. Unless some of them actually do that automatically, but not all of them. So that's what I just got through doing. But just from looking around the world here, you can kind of see that the textures are a little lacking or a little outdated. But I think they're going to focus on the gameplay is what they're going for with this, and I don't think people will mind too much. Kind of like a Mabinogi or RuneScape sort of thing. And I guess later on you get some cool looking gear. So we're going to find our first dungeon here, and you'll notice when we get in here, I'll have a partner with me. So like I was mentioning in the beginning, this is really heavily focused on a companion. So here's one of my companions. I actually have 2 already, both of which are a little low on HP from the first dungeon. Which happens to be several levels higher than me. I did it a little early. But first off, you can access all the menus from here by clicking the scroll wheel on the mouse. Go to Partners, and this is the one I currently have summoned. And they work off an affection system, and this allows you to increase their stats by giving them gifts. And I'll kind of give you an idea how that works. So there are 4 different gifts in the game, which are these right here. There are some in the cash shop that you can pick up as well, but each partner likes certain things. So each gift doesn't exactly give you the same amount of friendship points, if you will. So you've kind of got to figure that out just by giving gifts. And once they've reached the next affection level, their stats increase. And these are not only your companions, they're also the NPCs that identify your items and repair and enhance your weapons. And so you'll notice that some of these stats actually go towards that. So this is the one I currently have summoned, kind of maxed out here on the friendship meter, if you will. And it looks like I have to clear a quest in order to get to the next level there. So I guess there's multiple requirements. And for now, I can only summon just one at a time. Maybe later on I'll be able to do that. I think there's 8 total companions you can get in the game. So maybe later on you might be able to summon more than one. So this area right here is kind of like the Fields of Battle in Elsword. It's the area in between the hub world and the dungeons where you can do PvE. And I'll kind of give you an idea of the combat here on this fuzzball before we actually get into a dungeon. So that was my left click there. I can use it 4 times consecutively. It's kind of like a combo. And then my right click is my special abilities, which I have 3 on each weapon for now. You can cycle through those by hitting Q, or you can do 1 through 3. And some higher level weapons will have more, I believe up to 5 skills. So that's pretty cool too, depending on the weapon that you pick up. And depending on the weapon you pick up, you'll have different abilities, so even if it's the same type of weapon. So that's kind of cool. The abilities are bound to the weapons. And obviously you can see there your companion kind of fights for you. So being that this game is an action-based combat, you can do some blocking, which I'm trying to see if he'll hit me there. There we go. Didn't take any damage. Oh, he's going to jump on me though. I moved forward. And your companion will actually take him out too. So you can block, and you can also do evasive rolls by double tapping W, A, S, and D, which is very important in this game because once you get into the dungeons, you do have to worry about the AI being pretty challenging. Let's see, I'll show you my third ability there, which is pretty devastating, and it does AoE damage, so I can kind of handle multiple enemies at once there. But it does use the most mana, of course, and I'm kind of out of. There's my second ability, which looks a lot like the first one, except has a little bit more range to it. And honestly, the action combat in this is kind of smooth. I mean, especially going from one ability to the next. And it really works nicely if you switch between the different weapons like this right here. All you got to do is hit F, and you can move your mouse around accordingly. And look, we have a volunteer to die. So yeah, my twin blades here has a different ability depending on which ones I switch to. That right there was the third ability, obviously overkill. That's okay, he needed to die. Stupid flying scroll. The first ability is actually pretty cool, the twin blade slash. That one right there does quite a bit of damage. I kind of missed. And the combat is precise. You actually have to aim. You can use tab to select between the two, and it helps you target one over the other. So you notice that one actually took the damage, even though this one was standing close to it. And the second ability here is Poison Fang, which I think does damage over time. I'm not sure. But either way, it gets the job done. So let's see here. Let's switch to the Mage, the staff here. Now this uses a crap ton of mana, and it doesn't actually do that much damage. You have to really mean it. The basic attacks, left click is kind of weak. There's the second ability. I don't have enough mana for the first one, the fireball. And then the third ability is the evasion warp to get out of the way. And with this particular type of weapon, you don't actually have a block, but instead it allows you to regenerate mana slowly by holding shift. Now the bad thing here is that it really damages your weapon, so much so that you can actually see it happening down at the bottom left corner just below the skills there. Even regenerating that much mana, I'm probably going to have to get it repaired. So it's actually easier just to take a mana potion. You find those everywhere. So let's switch to the axe, which is going to deal a lot of damage, but be very slow, you'll notice. And it does kind of have some range to it. And what I'm doing here is the basic attack, but the powerful attacks actually look very similar. They just do a lot more damage. So let's take a quick look at the weapon slot here. I can hit the center mouse button and pull up the menu, go to the equipment tab. And you'll notice here that I can click here, remove the weapon, or change it out with some weapons I have. I don't have any currently, except a rare sword here, but it's a little too high level. But you'll notice that it's the same type of weapon. This one here has Dancer Strike, Void Slash, and Double-Edged Cut, and this one has Void Slash, Lunge Step, Oni Spirit Blast. So it's the same type of weapon, different skills like I was talking about earlier. And then you have this type of item here, which basically replaces the stats on armor. So you don't have armor in the game. This one here gives me physical defense and magic defense, and obviously later on you can have I guess 4 of these plus various rarities that will manipulate your stats this way, and you can allocate points as you level up, just like you can in your typical MMORPGs that way. So let's go ahead and hop into one of the dungeons. Pretty much any of them will go towards my current quest. I think this one is also a few levels higher than me. And on top of that, the mobs in the dungeons are a lot more hostile and deal so much more damage than the ones out here, and that's for sure. They're still easy to kill, except they can basically two-shot you if you're not careful. I'm gonna go with normal here, of course. The game definitely offers up a challenge in that respect. Alright, so every dungeon that I've seen so far is actually really empty looking like this. It's like a cave and there's nothing there, and then all of a sudden they sort of spawn when you enter the room like this. And you've got to go up to them. They don't really initiate you much, which is handy on some of the dungeons because you can kite some of the stronger enemies that way. There we go, killed him. I kind of missed. If you notice, I switched to my sword again. Ow, he bit me. Did a lot of damage for a little guy. And when I used that lunge step, I kind of went through him. Let's see if I can do that again. Oh, he doesn't take damage, the first guy. It's okay, I killed Skeleton again. The enemies of the game are actually really unique. Some of them remind me of Dragon Nest, but most of them remind me of like a Studio Ghibli movie, which of course all have bizarre looking characters. I'm gonna have to heal here. Nothing like eating some sushi to heal. I could definitely do that in real life. I'm feeling bad, you give me some sushi, I am good to go. Especially a spicy tuna roll. Yeah, now I'm hungry. Any of you guys watching, feel free to send me some sushi, as long as it's quick. So yeah, there's long walks in between the sections of the dungeons here. And now we got some bigger enemies here. The best thing to do is go in here and quick, take them out with my most powerful attack, which happens to be my third skill in this weapon. That way they just don't even get a chance to hit me. I'll switch back to my twin blades to kind of get a comparison on damage. Second ability combo there. Nice. And let's see the third ability, see what it does to this guy. Oh, not so much. He didn't take much damage there. See, it's this type of guy that kind of reminds me of the Studio Ghibli movies. Big, weird looking. This guy right here kind of just reminds me of a nightmare version of Kirby. Yeah, he even tries to eat you the same way. It's a little bit creepy, to be honest. The art style in the game overall, like the characters, and especially the text on the names of the characters is actually really cool. I do enjoy that aspect of the game. I just wish the overall world textures was just a little bit better. Take a mana potion there, it's a little low, because I'm not sure what's next. See, that art style on the loading screen is actually cool too. Switch to the battle axe here, have not used it much. It does a lot of damage, especially the skills. Now that I have enough mana. Bam, half his health. And then of course you got too slow swings there, so he takes a little chunk out of your health each time. Oh, gotta learn to block too. You can't block real fast with this particular weapon either. Done, son. Oh, where'd he go? He deflated. Oh, he went over there? Oh, okay. Thanks, partner. After this, I'll give you a gift of some sort, like a book or a charm or a model. Whatever you want. Just whatever you do, stay away from my sushi. That's mine. That is the ultimate gift. Ah, we summoned some skeletons. Take care of them really quick. I do think I like these twin blades the best. The abilities are really cool. Plus I enchanted this one, so it does a little bit more damage than it would normally to start. So this isn't the actual starting blade you get on this particular weapon. Nice, exploded. And I picked up a silver mystery weapon there. So you can't tell what the weapon is until you get it identified. It just goes based on rarity, and so when you unlock it, it actually might be a staff or bow or sword. You just have to figure that out. Now, what I don't know is whether or not I'm able to change out the weapons on my partners, or if you know what I'd like to be able to do is give them some sushi or something to heal them. I really don't want to give them my sushi because I like sushi so much. But just because she's kind of low in health and my other one's really low in health, so I might actually have to summon. Yeah, buddy, take it. That was a one shot right there. I'm gonna have to summon my other partner just to continue the battle here if we're not careful. She's got like a sliver of life left. I can imagine this dungeon is a lot more difficult if you don't have somebody there taunting. This guy just rolls over everybody. I'm gonna do an AoE attack here. My third ability is nice AoE. I think they're low enough health to do the damage. Yeah, I killed 3 of them. Nice. Took care of that. This guy didn't get touched. Ow, and he bites. No, don't bite me. Rolled out of the way there. Stupid nightmare Kirby, die. He's biting nothing. Oh, and I forgot to mention, you do level up the specific skills associated with the weapon. I'm not sure if you level up the weapon without enhancing it, because when you enhance a weapon, it levels it up. But you do level up the individual skills associated with the weapon. Open this chest here, see if there's anything good. Nope, just sushi, which is good. Go pick that up here. So, like, I've already leveled up my lunge step to level 4, which I'm assuming just increases its ability, like its power, its damage, and everything. I think this is the boss area, according to the music, which is kind of cool, by the way. Yep, I gotta fight Akuma. Oh, fire tossing Akuma. Alright, I'm gonna get out of here. The best thing to do is just avoid this guy, because if he hits you, he deals burning damage, which doesn't go away unless you pop potions. Either that, or he'll just slap you, which hurts too. Luckily it didn't hurt that much. I'm just going to use my powerful attacks here to try to end his life. There we go. Almost. Done. That's it right there. Power attacks for the win. Lunge leap. And I killed his summons. Nice. So that's basically how the dungeons work out. From what I've seen so far, they do have a boss type enemy at the end. Not necessarily specific like that guy. He was more of a distinguishable boss, and I think that had to do with the quest that I was doing. Now, the AI does scale when you have more players in the party, which to me is not necessarily challenging as it is tedious, just because of the fact that the sole purpose of that is to keep the players on their feet. So your objective is to basically avoid getting hit rather than trying to find ways to, I guess, take down the enemies, because you definitely have the weapons to take care of them. You just have to try not to get hit by them, because they can end you quick. And the more people you have in the party, the more difficult they get. But at the same time, I also think that's fun, because it is in a way challenging. It's just challenging in a sense that not necessarily everybody's gonna like. Plus, another thing in the game, there's not actually PvP in this game, which is something that surprising to see in an anime MMORPG. Check it out. It's the world's smallest NPC that I have to turn this quest into, and I can't actually click on him. There he is. He's down there. You gotta give me some salmon nigiri, which I am okay with. It's funny because that was my reward for killing that huge boss at the end of that dungeon there. I got a piece of salmon that I think I used 2 of while I was in that dungeon alone. Oh well. But yeah, no PvP in the game. It's also not really structured for PvP. I think the weapons would definitely get... balancing would be terrible and things like that based on how it's set up. But like I said, no PvP in the game. So therefore the cash shop items are not something you have to worry about being pay to win, really. Now you do have to repair your stuff pretty often, so that's what I'll do first here. Pretty much everything I use, I gotta repair. You can use repair fairies. I always forget to do that. And you can actually have it repair good or bad. I've only had it repair bad once, and you can just repair it again, I believe, if it's a low-level item, and it's fine after that. Let's see here, and I'll identify some of the... I know I have a gold weapon in here. Let's try to... Let's see, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Oh, I thought I did. Okay. Silver weapon. That'll work. Let's see what I get. Ooh, a bow. Sweet. I have not seen one of these yet. I'll actually have to equip that and see how it works out. Nice. That's actually a really good replacement to my sword. It's an overall stronger weapon. Let's go to my inventory here and check it out. Let's see if we can... I'm not sure if it's something that I can equip yet. Maybe too high level. Let's see what to replace here. I guess I'll replace this with the bow. And... well, I guess you can organize this however you want to. I guess that one sword is a little too high level, yeah. We'll swap it out with the battle axe. So that way I have the ability to regen mana if I want to, at the cost of repairing my staff. Let's check out how the bow works here. Click on... oh, I don't want to do that. Click on the bow. Oh, it's because I'm in the menu. Got it. Sweet, it shoots fast and I can just hold down left click. That's nice. That's pretty cool. Holy crap. I don't know what that did. I guess it's a bunch of AoE damage. Venom arrow. Backstep. Okay. Lightning shot. So it's set up similar to the staff where you have a... oh, that's nice. Where you have an evade and then you have an AoE. I guess all ranged weapons are going to be set up like this. And basically the bow is a physical alternative to the staff. And so it's going to have similar skills. Obviously from one bow to the next it'll have different skills, kind of like the other swords. But that's kind of how it works. And that's kind of how this game works. That's pretty much all I had to show you guys. Thanks for watching. Overall, the game is better than I expected it to be. It kind of has that old school Dynasty Warriors feel to it. It's refreshing action gameplay, but at the same time, it's a bit lacking on the visuals, at least for this day and age. And from its marketing, I was kind of thrown off at first. Their anime-style previews didn't really show off gameplay, but instead a semi-nude bathroom attack scene, for example. If you guys haven't seen that, you should definitely check it out. It's pretty funny, actually. There's a lot more boobs in that than there were wandering around in the actual game, that's for sure. Oh, and another thing I forgot to mention, the game does have gamepad support, which might feel kind of nice based on how the combat is structured, although I didn't actually get to try that out. But once again, thanks for watching. Head over to the MMOHuts Onigiri game profile while you're eating sushi if you want. Download the game, try it out. But until next time, guys, that's going to be it from me. I'm James Blonde. See you out there, gamers.